Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on percentage of a quantity worksheets. So this video presents a few worksheets where we are given some examples to practice finding the percentage of a given quantity. If you're not sure how to do these, we've had a lesson on this topic, and on the last slide in this video there is a link. If you click on the link, it will take you to the lesson and it will explain how to do all the examples. Let's just have a look at a couple on this slide before we move on. Okay, let's look at, for example, 30% of 70. So there are three simple rules, and the first one says that you change this here, this percentage, you change it to a fraction. So we know that's 30 over 100. Okay, that's the first thing we have to do. Change the percentage to a fraction. The next rule says simplify the fraction, so write it in simplest form. So we know that simplest form is 3 over 10. Of course, all we do is you divide numerator and denominator by 10. So there we are. The next thing, the word of, which is here, that changes to multiplication. And then you write down 70, write it in the form of a fraction. Of course, it's very easy to do the sum then. And there we are. So 3 over 10 times 70 over 1. If you work out that calculation, that will give you the answer. So they are the three rules. Change the percentage to a fraction, simplify the fraction, change the word of to multiplication, and do the calculation. All done. Exactly the same here. Just follow the same rules for every single example on this slide and you won't have any difficulties. Let's look at the next slide to see what we have to offer. Okay, here a little bit more involved. You'll notice we have some decimals here, like fractions of a percent. But the rules are exactly the same. Whatever the value of the percentage is, doesn't matter what it is, put it over 100 and do whatever multiplication or division you have to write it in simplest form. Doesn't matter which one it is, whether it has a decimal point or there's no decimal point, the rules are the same. Don't forget that of gets changed to multiplication and then you carry out the calculation. Don't get tricked if the percentages are larger than 100. You still do it the same way. So you follow exactly the same rules. And remember, the next slide contains a link. It will take you to the lesson and it explains how to do all of these. So if you need help, click on the link and you'll be okay. So this video has presented a few slides where we've had some examples to practice changing firstly a percentage to a fraction and then finding the percentage of a given number. So that's the first step, remember. The percentage has to be changed to a fraction. Don't forget the lesson on the next slide.